next stage, I drew the picture into pieces, such as the shape of the main body, the wings, the horns, and the legs. And then I proceeded to shape the foil into each individual body part where I thought would be most appropriate. Other than using foil to get most of the main structure shaped out, I'm using some wire to start the main bone shape, I guess, of the two wings. The wire I cut, not exactly a soft wire to cut or shape. Just remember, with any wire work and all that, you just got to be careful. You don't have bits flying everywhere or cut your fingers and such. Now with our two wings in, before we get too much further, I'd like to see where these sit on our creature. So like one wing we would like to have sitting here, about there. The other wing, let's say about here. Try and get that the right placement. Okay. Alright. Now I know this looks really weird at the moment. We've got the top of the snout here, which really needs to be more rounded across there, but that's easily remedied later on. And this here is the bottom jaw, which goes under here, which will be attached later. Try first. Look off the wings. The body, I've already attached the double tail. I made the tail by itself, body by itself, top of the head. That's all one piece from the snout to the butt. And then wrapped over foil to join these together and to round up the belly a bit. Now this here is technically one of the antlers, basic shape for it, go on top. And you could do this with only one antler to make it a paella. Sorry. And then, or you want two, to make it a piezio. So this bit here will be, the bottom bit here is only for extra support to help attach it to the head. That there will be covered over. Right. And when we're moulding them with the clay, we're going to add the extra point for the antler. And then we've got one front limb on one side, front limb on the other side. Paws can be shaped differently by themselves. Right. Back leg, one, and back leg two, to go at the front. Going to be sort of a semi-crouch position. And with the clay, you just break off. You just do small bits at a time. Need it. Needs a lot of work. Need it so it gets used to it. Brand new, it hasn't been worked with yet. Just have to watch with any clay that it doesn't dry out too quick on you. You know, make sure it's covered in its plastic or foil in some cases, such as air dry clay that I have here. It's double layered in plastic. It's got blood rub and a zip top pad, and it's still usable. And I've got this dark terracotta air dry clay. And when it dries, it comes out this light colour here. From an earlier project. using just simple biscuit and fondant cutters for cake decorating. You can use a lot of different tools. A lot of tools that are used for cake decorating, such as chocolate moulding and fondant making. Use very similar techniques and tools. And do simple things such as make a shell shape using another tool like this one, for example. Got this here. Yes, it's still stained from the terracotta color. And you end up with shapes, say, similar to this one. Can't see that very well. There, that's a bit better. Shape similar to that one, with a slight curl in it too. Oh, camera focus. Sorry about that. As I said, need. All we need is to need. Need a lot of things, don't we? Yeah, need to make 4 feet, so about 4 ovals shaped out. Try and make them round about the same size. Some ways I could make the 2 feet that I meant for the back slightly bigger. 1 or 2. These feet are going to be kind of feline-like. It's going to be cat, tiger, lion style. I suppose claws on tree cats, but a domesticated cat doesn't have exposed claws. But then you got some big cats that do. So it's pretty much kind of teardrop shape, pinch the back. Along here I'm going to mark out how many toes are in each and give it a rough estimate of the toes. I won't cut them out or anything, just mark them out and slightly mould them. So, for example, has the creature got 3? Or has it got 4? Or has it got 5? Depends on the kind of creature you want, I guess. Yeah. Most of us have got 5. Bear with me, there's a reason why I say most. Not everybody's the same. That's what we've got to remember. Not to be judged for such. Normally, a normal cat would not show its claws, but a lot of the larger predatory cats do. Right. Your domestic cat retracts its claws, for example. Otherwise it probably get caught on everything if it kept its claws out all the time. Only needs them to keep watching out of its prey and getting a grip on things such as a tree that it's climbing. One more. feet look crooked, don't look exactly, you know, it's all knobbly, not perfect. We'll do the impression, maybe after. Some tools make the job a little bit easier, but you know, sometimes you just can make do. You don't always have the tools that are available that we'd like to use, etc. But sometimes you'd be amazed what effects you can come up with. Just simple tool items around the house can sometimes help. Some items you would least expect. Possibly in your cutlery drawer. And a sewing kit. On that note though, just make sure you're not upsetting somebody by taking something out of the kitchen drawer, for example. I mean, certain items sometimes have textures you might want, such as a thimble. So as I said, make sure you've got the okay to use any of those tools that you're looking at. Especially if it's normally a food item. Most people are iffy about the idea food items being shared with clay sculpting. Not everybody likes it. Definitely not even, but there, I've got my 4 feet, 4 paws. So somehow got to attach to that, especially out legs. Cover them completely to make the legs. Like, use an antler, for example. And I made 2 antlers because I'm making the female variant. Remember, for one of these, if you want the male, only needs 1 antler. Female has 2. And here I show the Petrie coming together and start putting parts, in place. I'm using extra foil for support underneath. Getting ready for its first bake. Not all the parts are included here, as you can see the bottom jaw is missing, but I found it easy to construct the bottom jaw and attach it later. And then, added more parts on. I had a lot of detail in the mouth with all the little teeth. They're a bit fiddly, but I worked it out. And the thing about polymer clay, you can bake extra clay onto clay you've already baked. Remember, longer time, low heat is more efficient than trying to speed it up with a higher heat because you're more likely to burn it. And I decided I want to get a bit more of a pose happening, so I added the ball feature. I'm trying to do as much texture as I could. Before I go to bake it. Here is the stage after I've baked it. I already started painting it. I used copper acrylic paint and gold foil to give it the colour and texture I wanted. And then I added some more features using the raw clay and baked that on top to give it the more strands of hair on itself. And I went even further, another bake, and I included, I put some eyes in and made a little gold gilded ball for it to play with.